Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and in this video, I'm going to share with you my recipe for tiramisu. And this is a recipe that will have everybody you give it to fighting over the tiramisu. It goes down so well. Anytime I make it for guests, either guests coming here or I take it around to people's houses as my sort of contribution towards the party or the dinner that I'm at, it always goes down so well. You can't make enough of it. So be prepared for there not being any left either, and you have to make sure you get your bit because otherwise it'll just be gone. So yeah, very special tiramisu recipe that was given to me many years ago when I was at university by a very good friend of mine at the time. And you just can't go wrong with it. I mean, it's easy. You don't have to cook it. You can dabble with it. You can sort of, I'm going to show you the different ways that maybe you want to change it up a little bit to suit you. I love this recipe and I think you will as well. So let's begin. So we're going to start with the ingredients. Now, as I say, you can swap these ingredients around a little bit. You can change them up a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what I normally do because I don't stick to them exactly. There's certain basics you have to stick to, of course. But anyway, so here's your ingredients. So the first one is 3 tablespoons of amaretto or brandy. Now, there are, maybe you don't like amaretto, maybe you don't like brandy, maybe you don't drink alcohol. So I personally do not like amaretto particularly or brandy. So I would always use, sometimes I use brandy because in this recipe it tastes okay. I like whiskey, or you can use Tia Maria, rum. You can use anything dark. I mean, I don't think using vodka or a light spirit would be a good idea. I think any dark spirit that you like, you could change that up, those 3 tablespoons, and you could put a little bit more in if you wanted to. Don't go mad, I mean, because it would ruin the taste. The other thing is, of course, some of you out there, maybe you don't drink at all. Now, I was researching online, you can get non-alcoholic spirits like brandy, etc., brandy copies that will probably give you the same taste, because it's about the taste, isn't it? It's not about whether it's got brandy in it or not. It's nice for people who do drink and like the taste of alcohol. It's always, a lot of dishes taste better with a little bit of alcohol in them, don't they? But if you either don't like the taste of alcohol or maybe you just don't drink, you can find alternatives. I'm sure you know that online. It's nice to have something. I don't think you could do it without anything. I don't think it would taste the same because you need something to complement the coffee taste. So something, I think you could even put Baileys in or anything like that, really. But yeah, I normally put whiskey in instead. I'm not a brandy person. But, I'm sure you find some alternative that suits you, even a non-alcoholic one, but at least that had the same rich taste as these dark spirits. Tia Maria, as I say again, is a good one. Okay, then you need half a pint of strong black coffee. So you need this. You can't do without it, but if you don't like the caffeinated coffee, if you're worried it'll keep you up all night, then use decaffeinated. That's not a problem. Use decaffeinated coffee just as much as you could use caffeinated coffee. Then a packet of sponge fingers. I always use the sort of hard sponge fingers. You could really, I suppose, use something softer if you didn't like them, but I think it has to be the hard sponge fingers because they're going to soak up the coffee and the alcohol and they'll go softer anyway. Then you need a 250 grams or a 9-ounce tub of mascarpone cheese. Now, this is something else you can change up. And I found this out when I first came to Spain. Those of you who know me and know that I live in Spain, it's easily available now. But when I first came here 20 years ago, nearly 30 years ago, you couldn't get mascarpone cheese, or I didn't know where to get it from. So I was saying this to a very good friend of mine who's very sadly he's passed away from this earth now. And he said to me, well, why don't you use Philadelphia cheese? And I said, what, is that the same thing then, being thick and not knowing anything like that? Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, or it's more or less the same thing. You could use it as a substitute. So I started using Philadelphia cheese as well instead. And the good thing about that as well is if you want to save a few calories, I mean, there's a lot of calories in the tiramisu, but if you can, every calorie you can save is good, isn't it? As long as it doesn't compromise the taste, you can get the low calorie Philadelphia cheese. And the other thing is you can also, because Philly these days is really quite expensive, isn't it? But you can get in my local supermarket, Spanish supermarket, they do like a copy of Philadelphia that's half the price, and they do that in full fat or low fat. So again, you can use that instead. It's just as good. Everything to your taste, or stick with the mascarpone cheese if you think you prefer it. I can't even remember the last time I made it with mascarpone cheese, but I did notice this year that it is easily available. So yeah, mascarpone cheese or Philly or your local supermarket Philadelphia copy, low calorie, full fat, whatever floats your boat. But all of those, this is what I mean about this recipe. You can change it up, you can make it like, just make it that few less calories. Do, or more to your taste. Then you need 350 grams or 12 ounces of Greek style yogurt. This must be unsweetened, of course. So not Greek style yogurt with any flavours in it, just pure unflavoured Greek yogurt. 3 tablespoons of icing sugar, 4 ounces of grated chocolate, and that is just to grate and put over the top of it. And one thing I found about making this here in Spain, because it's hot here normally, especially if you're making them in the summer, you have to keep it in the freezer so it's rock hard, because otherwise when you grate it, it's going to go all over your hands anyway. But at least if it's frozen, if the cheese has been in the freezer or at least in the fridge compartment, I find when I make it in the winter, the chocolate still melts on my hands, but not to the same extent as it does in the summer when I'm literally covered in it. But I am a cook who quite likes that. I like to use my hands and get involved and normally covered in it everywhere, like by the end of it. But that's part of the fun of cooking, surely. And then just some cocoa powder. That could be any cocoa powder. It doesn't have to be sort of Cadbury's Best Elite cocoa powder. Could be anything, your cheapest of your cheap. That's literally just to dust the top of the tiramisu after you've put the grated chocolate on, and then you dust it to cover it over the top. And that is it. That is your ingredients. So really, it's not that many ingredients. It's not that expensive to make, really, which is nice because it makes, I think, what's the word? A sort of a luxury dessert, but it's not a luxury price like some things cost a lot more money, don't they? So yeah, there's your ingredients. Yeah, I think I've said all I want to say about that. Okay, so the method. So for the method, first of all, place the coffee in a shallow bowl and add the amaretto or brandy or whichever spirit you've decided to put in there, stirring well until combined. Then dip in half of the sponge fingers one at a time and use them to line a 1.2 litre or 2-pint glass bowl. Then place the mascarpone or Philadelphia or whichever cheese you've chosen to use, yogurt and sugar in a bowl and whip it until it's smooth and slightly thickened. Then spread a half of the cream over the soaked sponge fingers and then grate over the top a third of the chocolate. Then dip the remainder of the sponge fingers in the coffee mixture and arrange them in another layer on top. Spread over the rest of the mascarpone mixture and arrange in another layer on top. Then dust it with cocoa powder and chill it until needed. It is so easy. Don't even have to put it in the oven or do anything like that with it. And now this actual picture on here is not the one that I've made. I don't make it with those funny sort of molehills on the top. It's just a picture to show you a tiramisu. You're going to have a look at mine in a moment, and I'm going to give you some ideas of how to decorate the top. That would not be my choice, but each to their own. So this is how mine ended up, the one that I made recently for Christmas. And the beauty, I think, of this is it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be precise. As you can see, that's not all level and all perfect. That's what I like. I'm not very good at baking and things like that. Anything that requires precision, I think I need to, just be able to sort of go for it. And yeah, it comes out like that. It's uneven, but it's absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to give you a few ideas of how to top it. I mean, basically, that's the other beauty of this dish is you can decorate it with themes. You can put anything on the top of that. Once you've made the actual base tiramisu, you can put anything on the top of it. I'm just going to give you some ideas. So, these days you can buy cake decorations for any subject, theme, be it birthdays, special occasions. So if it was Easter, you can put some Easter eggs on it, an Easter bunny, Easter chick, just literally anything you want. If you can find the cake decorations somewhere, and you can use the same ones every year, of course. If you buy cake you can buy the cake decorations you can eat. Can't use them every year, obviously. Or you can buy the cake decorations that you can just wash off, put in the cupboard and bring out the following Easter. So for Easter, you can decorate it with all the, I might try and think on, I can't promise it because I always have so many things going on. But yeah, each time it comes up to a special occasion that maybe I want to make a tiramisu, I can show it you. Or one thing that I have done before that is lovely, for Valentine's Day, to put hot red hearts on it. Now you can use strawberries. It's beautiful. I think there's not much goes better together than strawberries and chocolate. Is it? I mean, it's lovely. There's no strawberries dipped in melted chocolate are just gorgeous. But of course, you can buy real strawberries and put them in heart shapes and decorate your tiramisu that way. I've done that before. It's lovely. It's so nice. So that's a Valentine's Day suggestion. You could put the name of the person on it. You could write on it, I love you, or, there's so many different things you could do. So another typical sort of suggestion for Christmas, you can put your Christmas decorations on there. You could put a little nativity scene on there. Gosh, you could do a Halloween one with Halloween decorations. And the more I start talking about this, the more I'm thinking, God, it's unlimited. It's limitless, really, what you can do to decorate the top. You get your basic tiramisu and then just put on whatever whatever decorations you want to. And, you know, if you're in America, you could do a Thanksgiving one. Whatever country you're in, whatever your celebrations are, you know, any big celebration, you could do a football one, a World Cup one when the World Cup comes up, or rugby league, or, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think, literally, you just have to make the basic tiramisu and then you can do what the hell you like with it. Doesn't even have to be a big a special occasion, does it? Might be just you're inviting people round for dinner. Maybe you put the names of the people that you've got round for dinner on it so that you all know which bit's theirs. That's a good idea, actually, because believe me, they'll be fighting over it. That's what's happened to me every time I've made the tiramisu. People love it. Now, okay. Now, you know what they always say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I've got a little piece here. Let's have a little taste. Now, it's hard to stop once you start with this. It's only because, you know, at the time of making this video, it was Christmas Day yesterday. So actually, I'm already quite full. I think I'll be full for about 3 weeks. But I can still squeeze in a bit of tiramisu. It is so nice. Honestly, I'd be, well, unless you didn't like coffee and stuff, I can't see how anybody could not like it. I don't like eating on videos. I don't like eating in public generally, but I know it's awful, isn't it? But I don't know why that is really. But you could put cream on it, could serve it with strawberries or anything. That's how versatile this pudding is as well. Now, I haven't put any cream on it. It's got enough sort of creamy stuff in it, but you definitely could put cream on it. It's literally so versatile, this pudding. You could do anything with it. Now, if you were with your loved one on Valentine's Day, you could feed each other it, couldn't you? I mean, there's other things you could do with it, but I won't go into that now because there might be children watching. But yeah, it's such a versatile pudding. I hope you end up making it. Now listen, if you do end up making it yourself, let me know how it went down with your friends and family. Let me know your results in comments. I don't think it's something you can go wrong with, really. Listen, I'm not very good at sort of puddings and things like that making. I can make like apple crumble, anything that's easy. As I say, baking, rubbish. I cannot bake. I can't do things. I think I like to express myself with cooking. So I like things that you can, you know, mess around with, sort of add things, take things away, or do it to your taste. And I think tiramisu is definitely something like that. You can make it your own signature dish that nobody else can replicate. But there you go, I've given you my recipe. See if you can replicate it. Please let me know how you get on. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you really soon, as always, in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you and your tiramisu. Bye.